A huge hello to everyone at Lantau International School in Hong Kong. I'm David Walliams and I'm here to answer your questions. Lillian and Cedric ask if there's going to be a world's worst pets and what is my favorite pet. Well, there is a world's worst pets. It came out this year and I'm sending you guys a copy of it for your library, so hopefully you get to read it. And my favorite pet, well, I have two pets. I have two border terriers, Bert and Ernie, named after characters on Sesame Street, and they are my favorite pets, two wonderful little doggies. Esther and Rory want to know what is my favorite book. Well, my favorite book growing up was Charlie and the Chocolate Factory by Roald Dahl, and it's still one of my absolute favorite books. It's perfect, it's brilliant, and anywhere I go in the world, people know that book. So that's my favorite book by someone else. My favorite book by me might be The Boy in the Dress, which was my first ever book. And it got turned into a wonderful musical, and I love that musical so much. Just sitting there watching all these actors act out my story, and it was just very, very moving. It really hit me here. So Boy in the Dress, if you haven't read it, it's probably my favorite. Nathan would like to know who or what is the inspiration for my books. Well, I get inspiration from all kinds of places, other people, conversations I might overhear, things I might see on television, all kinds of things. So as an author, you've got to keep your eyes and ears open because you never know when an idea for a story might come along. And I suppose it just comes out of my head a lot of it. So I suppose I inspire some of my stories because I just dream them up. Maverick and Christian want to know about who was my favorite teacher at school and also were there any really naughty children. Well, yes, I was very lucky. I had a lot of good teachers and I had a lot of good English teachers. English was my favorite subject. And we had this wonderful teacher called Patrick Cartmel who used to tell us stories at the end of the lesson. I loved that. I was always like completely putting his hands as he told these stories. And yes, there were some naughty children at school, and I was one of them because I used to make fun of the teachers sometimes, which you must never do, and it got me into trouble. Coram and the rest of the P6 class want to know whether I can set a book in Hong Kong, where I've been there, and whether you can be in the book. Well, now I've got a good reason to come, haven't I? I should come and visit you someday. I've never been to Hong Kong. I've always wanted to. I had a very good friend called David Tang who lived in Hong Kong, and he always invited me. I never got to go, and sadly he's not with us anymore. But I do want to come one day. It was fantastic. I love watching movies set in Hong Kong. And can you be in it? Well, yes, if I can think of a story, you can all be in it. Lawrence would like to know what it's like being an author. Well, it's like being a magician, really, because you're conjuring up these things that otherwise wouldn't exist. You're conjuring up these stories, these characters, these situations. And it's a very exciting place to be when you're writing a story because the only limit's your imagination. If you can dream it, you can write it down, then you can share that with someone else. So it's a wonderful, wonderful feeling. And I hope I've inspired some of you guys to write your own stories. Maybe some of you will become authors one day. Who knows? But it's been lovely answering your questions, and I want to send you all my love. Take care.